अगर हम कंडक्टर की बात करते हैं तो there is some current density, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So definitely the wave equation will change.
Yes, ma'am. Wave equation may be changed.
What
Yes.
is it? Can you tell me?
Ma'am,
General expression only.
yes, ma'am. Wave equation changes depend on the first order time derivative, and also we include second order time derivative of magnetic component and electric component.
Okay, good. So what do these terms indicate? मतलब basically इनका एक particular नाम होता है. What is it?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, first derivative of magnetic component, electric component, indicate that conduction current, conduction due to the conduction, and second derivative of the magnetic component, electric component, indicate that displacement current, displacement vector.
Okay. So on what how do we obtain the diffusion equation from this wave equation? We use electromagnetic survey on the basis of diffusion equation, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How do we obtain diffusive equation from this?
Ma'am, I think if we use high frequency, then definitely we can neglect the lower term, like a first derivative of the term, and definitely we obtain the.
Okay. And Pavan, what is the skin depth?
Ma'am, at a particular depth, we obtain the amplitude. Initially, the value of the amplitude is 37 degrees of the initial value. Sorry, ma'am, I repeat that. At a particular depth, we obtain 30% amplitude of the initial value of the amplitude.
Okay. Can we say skin depth as a maximum depth of penetration?
No, ma'am, we cannot say that.
What is the difference?
Ma'am, skin depth indicate at a particular. We can say that it's a fixed depth. At we obtain the amplitude decrease 30% of the initial value. But depth of penetration, we note any specific condition for amplitude. Maybe lower than to the skin depth or higher than to skin depth.
Thank you, Pavan. I am done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gori,
Okay, Pavan. Can you give me the idea we use in this magnetic telluric method?
Yes, ma'am.
What principle we are using?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, magnetic telluric method. First is the passive method. We use telluric current like a source. So, in magnetic telluric method, we measure the magnetic component of the telluric component. So, we directly measure the component of electrical magnetic field. That's the we obtain the resistivity and depth of penetration.
Okay. Can you give me any of the advantages and disadvantages of this method?
Yes, ma'am. First thing is that magnetic telluric method is a passive source. So I will tell you some advantage. So one is the advantage that is a passive method. So we have no use any like a source. It's a natural source. We use telluric current. And ma'am, second advantage is that depth of penetration very high compared to the other method. And ma'am, third advantage is that कि magnetic telluric method generally used for mineral explorations, also hydrocarbon explorations, and resolutions also very high compared to the other method. And ma'am, if we use disadvantage for magnetic telluric method is one is that we cannot control the your source like a telluric source. So ma'am, right now I am recalling what one disadvantage.
Okay. So what are the factors we are measuring with this technique?
Sorry, ma'am, can you repeat?
What geological parameter we are measuring with this method?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in magnetotelluric method, we measure the resistivity, apparent resistivity of the subsurface, and depth of penetration also we measure.
Okay, so you said that we are measuring this electric field and magnetic field components, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes.
So what is the apparatus we use for these measurements?
Yes, ma'am. For measuring the component of electrical magnetic, we use four electrode. One is the north south direction, or one is the east west direction. So, for measuring the four electrode, the component of the telluric current, then definitely the one indirectly we measure the component of magnetic and electrical component.
How do we measure this electric field? Uh, can you describe it? Hello?
Yes, sorry, ma'am, I'm not recalling right now.
Okay. So what is the main application of this method?
Magnetology method.
Yeah.
Ma'am, application is that it's very useful for groundwater explorations also, and depth of penetration very high in compared to the other method.
Okay. Mm, So can you recall any applications of GPR technique?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, JPR we use for shallow depth penetration. So for archaeological department, we use basically GPR method in general.
Okay, why do we prefer that over other methods?
And first thing is that for GPR, GPR method basically used for shallow depth, and archaeological department, and we obtain the in subsurface in shallow depth. And another thing is that if we cover to the large area, and so definitely we use GPR method in compared to the other method.
With magnetic telluric method also we can cover shallow depth, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So how does it differ?
Ma'am, I'm not sure, but if you compare to the resolutions for shallow depth, so GPR is good for compared to the magnetic method.
Okay. So why do you think this what are the different resolution? What is mean by resolution?
Sorry, ma'am, can you repeat?
What do you mean by resolution?
Resolutions.
Resolution.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes. Ma'am, resolution, I think that how much if we obtain the information from the method, so how much information it's correct. Yeah, we can say that how मैम यही आई थिंक दैट कि कितना वो अपन उस डाटा से कितना कुछ कितना अपन उन डाटा से इंफॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट कर पा रहे हैं बहुत ही प्रिसाइज फॉर्म में.
Okay. Um, so what is the main type of um, uh, loss occurring to this GPR signal?
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay. Um, how do this? What are factors will this GPR attenuation depends on? Do you know? Do you have any idea about it?
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay. What's the parameter that is determining this um, velocity of this radar signal?
Yes, ma'am. In GPR method, we obtain the dielectric constant of the surface.
Related to this dielectric.
Yes, ma'am. Can you repeat?
How is this velocity and dielectric constant related?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the electrical constant depend on the velocity. We can say that uh, if you have a two subsurface layer, one is the V1, velocity of V1, another is V2, and the electric constant depend on the V2 minus V1 upon V1 plus V2.
Can you repeat it once more?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. If ma'am, if we have a two layer, one is the velocity,
Okay.
another layer velocity layer V2, then the electrical constant depend on the velocity V1 V2
Okay.
minus V1 upon V1 plus V2. Yes.
That's reflection coefficient, right?
Yes. Yes.
Can you give any direct relationship between velocity and the dielectric constant?
Uh, yes, ma'am. Velocity is equal to 1 upon under root mu r epsilon r.
Okay. C by.
Cy. Yes. Yes. Sorry, ma'am.
Okay. So, which medium will have greater velocity, a better rock or dry rock?
Ma'am, can you repeat?
Which medium will have a higher velocity if you are comparing a better rock, wet rock, and a dry rock?
I think, ma'am, I'm not sure, but in a wet dry rock have a low velocity in compared to the bed rock.
Okay. Do you know the dielectric constant of water?
Yes, ma'am. For dielectric constant of a material is 80.
Is 80. It's almost a higher value when compared to other materials, subsurface material, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes.
So how do we think this velocity change? Which will have lower velocity, dry rock or wet rock?
So, ma'am, if dielectric constant is very high, so we can say the velocity is decreased. So, a dry rock have a we can say that higher dry rock have a some waters. So, dielectric constant high. So, we can say that a velocity is lower.
Dry rock have um, water. No, it's reverse, right?
Ma'am, I'm not sure, but maybe contain the water molecule.
Do you can you distinguish the term I told you? It's wet rock and dry rock. Okay, okay. That's okay.
Sorry,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. It's fine. So, what are the um, methods we use in this um, analysis, or what are the field methods? You heard of it? This GPR method is some way similar to the seismic method. Can we apply those techniques here also?
Yes, ma'am. GPR method like a seismic reflection method. So for data interpretation and collections, which is more and similar to the seismic reflections.
Okay, so in seismic method, we are um, trying to determine the time for the ray to come after reflection, right? So here what we are trying to measure. Do you have any idea?
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay. So okay. Mm, okay, coming to this Maxwell equation.
Yes,
Which
ma'am.
Maxwell equation is being used or which idea is being used in this technique mostly?
Ma'am, for electromagnetic survey, Maxwell third equation we use. Uh,
Can you describe what does it mean?
yes, ma'am. Sir, ma'am, ये Maxwell equation indicate that कि change of magnetic field produce the electrical field.
Rate of change of magnetic field produce electric field.
Yes.
Okay, so um, have you heard of this Lenz's law?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this related to this Faraday's law?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you describe what does it mean?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, Faraday law indicate that when we change of the magnetic flux in the closed conducting coil, then it produce the current. Yeah, we can say that produce the EMF, and produce the EMF always equal to the negative sign of change of flux, and there produce the magnetic current always opposed to the opposed to the initially negative flux. We can say that.
Okay. Do you know how this telluric currents are generated?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, telluric current generated by the ionosphere. We can say that when solar winds come to the ionosphere and interact to the ions, and here produce the electromagnetic wave. When electromagnetic wave come to the Earth's surface, and the component of the magnetic field of the electromagnetic wave interact to the conducting materials in the subsurface, and here we can say that some electromagnetic inductions produced. Then that's the reason where we obtain the telluric current.
Okay. What's the reverse mechanism of this Faraday's magnetic induction? Which Maxwell equation indicate that?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, fourth Maxwell equation indicates that a change of electrical field produce the magnetic field.
Okay. So, which are the other parameters which causes the generation of magnetic field?
Yes, ma'am. Change in the if we flow to the current, then also produce a magnetic field.
So, do you know how uh, how can we apply this technique in field? How do we use this fourth law, Maxwell's law, in field surveys in EM method?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in field survey, we have a primary electromagnetic wave. If we insert to the primary electromagnetic wave in the subsurface, if we subsurface in the subsurface present a conductive body that is interact to the conductor, then here electromagnetic induction phenomena occur. Then so we can say that to do electromagnetic induction, so they produce a secondary electromagnetic wave. If we if we observe if we collect the by receiver to the primary and secondary electromagnetic wave, then we can estimate, we can calculate the electrical property of the conductor, and some depth of penetrations also we obtain.
Okay, what is the phase difference between this primary wave we are using and the voltage that is induced within the subsurface conductor?
Sorry, ma'am, I'm not recalling that.
Okay, so can you divide this secondary wave into components?
Yes, ma'am. I mean
Oh,
secondary. Yes, ma'am.
and its comment on its significance.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we can divide component of the secondary wave in the phase, which is we can say that to primary electromagnetic wave, and another component is the 90-degree perpendicular to the primary electromagnetic wave. So one component is the in phase, and another component is the quadrature component. And ma'am, is significant of the component is that if we measure the quadrature component of secondary and primary electromagnetic wave, then it is directly proportional to the apparent conductivity of the subsurface.
Okay, okay. So, have you heard of dip angle methods?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
What is mean by this dip angle?
ma'am. First of all, deep angle method we will use in time domain electromagnetic survey, and by deep angle method. if it depend on the orientation of the orientation of the primary electromagnetic coils. So if we change of the orientation of the electromagnetic primary electromagnetic coils, then we obtain the maximum and minimum secondary electrical component on the receiver. So by dip angle, we obtain the maximum and minimum magnetic field by receiver.
Okay, so okay, that's from my side.
Thank you.
Sanu,
Okay, anyone late? Still not asked.
Asudeep, hello Asudeep.
Yes, Mohit.
आप क्वेश्चन पूछोगे?
Okay. So, Pavan, can you tell me what were your hobbies?
Yes, sir. Sir, my hobby is I do work as a check expert on a check India company and daily data writing.
So you are working there as a tech expert. So what is your role or job profile there?
Yes, sir. Sir, my job profile is that I solve I am a physics check expert. So I solve physics questions which is found on the sites, and after we upload.
Okay, is it a permanent job or
No, sir. It's not a, no, sir. It's not a permanent job. It's a temporary job. I am interested in the physics problem solving, so I do as a check expert.
okay, good, good. So that okay. Okay, can you tell me is the personal coaching is good for a student or not? What are your views on this?
Sir, can you repeat?
Can you tell me the your views on the effect of a personal coaching?
Yes, sir. I think that sir, some advantage also we consider some disadvantage. So first, I will tell you some advantage. Sir. In sir in coaching, we obtain the complete information about the which do in your aims, some your target. So in first thing that, and sir, second thing is that some disciplines also we obtain by in coaching, and sir, some guidance we obtain by coaching faculties. And sir, second, we consider the disadvantage of the coaching. So I think that sir, coaching in we obtain it's like a business. So some people say do it's very high, expensive fix. So poor people do not afford these things. And sir, second thing is that mm, and sir, in if we low areas, people say we are not consider we are not able to join the coaching. So definitely, it's lags on your competitions. So I think that.
Okay, and your second hobby was
Sir, then they are writing.
writing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so which type of writing do you like?
Yes, sir. And sir, I write my daily plan, which is follow in every day, and my long term aims and short term aim also mentioned in diary.
So, what are your long-term goals? Means, how do you find yourself after 10 years? Where do you see yourself after 10 years?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. After 10 years, uh, definitely I stand a very big positions, maybe something that, and Yes, sir. Right now, I recalling one thing.
So actually, you told you are writing your long-term visions. So have you write there or not any vision?
Uh, Sorry, sir. I'm not writing right now.
Okay, okay. Any short-term vision that you
Yes,
want
sir.
to tell us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The short-term reason is that I qualified GSI interview and selected to do geophysics in GSI.
So, okay, so you are a physics, educationally physics background student.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how are you suitable to this GSI? Why should we select you? Tell me your,
Yes, sir.
okay,
I think,
tell
sir.
us.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think that, sir, geophysics, it's a in geophysics we use most of the application of physics. If I am very good in physics, we deal with the physics. Definitely, sir, I do very good in a field survey. And sir, if we as a geophysics, I am know what is the behind the region which we measure in a subsurface. So as a geophysicist, sir, I do in a data interpretations and something that, or I also, if we I as a geophysics, I can invest, I can invest a for a more sensitive which is present in that.
Okay, so Pavan, you are from Jaipur, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So you are from Jaipur, huh?
Yes.
So what are the most widely available minerals that found in the Rajasthan? Can you name?
Yes, sir. Sir, in Rajasthan, we have obtained 84 variety of minerals, and the for deposition we obtained 44. And name is that iron, we can say that gypsum, and we can and gold also we obtain something. And sir, this right now I am recalling these minerals.
Let's move to the geophysics part. So, tell me the atmospheric structure, layer wise.
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm not sure. If you give me some permission to can you, sir?
Yes, yes, please, you
Yeah.
can.
Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. So, sir, I think first layer is mm, asthenosphere, and after that ionosphere, and sir, right now I'm recalling to the layer of the atmosphere.
Okay, so there is the current called telluric current. So, in which layer we found it?
Sir, can you repeat?
Have you heard about the telluric current?
Yes, sir.
So, in which layer we will find
Yes,
it?
sir. Yes, sir. In sir ionosphere, we obtain the telluric current.
Okay, so telluric current is in ionosphere or in the ground?
Yes, sir. Telluric current flow in the ground, but the originate, we can say that some ionosphere present on the ions, and due to the some mechanisms, we produce electromagnetic wave. When the electromagnetic wave insert to the ground, then this magnetic component interact to the conducting materials which is present on subsurface, and some electromagnetic induction process, we obtain the telluric current, which flow to the crust part of the subsurface.
Okay, so which mechanism is producing the telluric current?
Yes, sir. Electromagnetic inductions.
Can you differentiate between the induction and the magnetic field?
Sorry, sir, can you repeat?
So just differentiate between the induction and the magnetic field.
In the sir, electromagnetic induction is a phenomena. We can say that the change of the magnetic flux produces a current, and magnetic field is a component of electromagnetic wave.
Okay, so have you? Okay, moves to the. So there is the Maxwell equation we are using, right?
Yes, sir.
So have you heard about the equation of continuity?
Yes, sir.
What is that? What is the statement?
Yes, sir. Equation of continuity represent of a conservation of charge,
Okay. The what is the statement?
and we can say that the divergence of a current density always equal to the negative sign of a change of charge density.
It is the why we are calling equation of continuity. We can also say that equation of discontinuity or something. Why we are calling it continuity equation?
Sorry, sir, I am not recalling right.
Okay, no issue. So tell me the advantage of the GPR over radar.
Sir, advantage one thing is that if we obtain the slow depth informations, the we can use GPR method, and if we compare to the instrumentals, and it's also easy for calculating the data. The right now recalling about this advantage.
Okay. Okay, my last question is that tell me your two weakness and two strength.
Yes, sir. Sir, my strength. Sir, my strength is that I am very passionate to my work, and second strength is that integrity. And sir, weakness is that sir sometimes uh, सर समटाइम्स मैं काफ़ी ज़्यादा हेल्पफुल हो जाता हूँ मैं दूसरों की रेस्पेक्ट में और सॉरी सर राइट नाउ रिकॉर्डिंग वन थिंग
Okay, thank you, Pavan.
थैंक यू सर
Anu,
Okay. So, so Pawan, your hobbies are what do you call answer writing
यस सर
and
सर माय
diaries? Yeah.
यस सर माय हॉबीज इज चेक्स एक्सपर्ट आई डू I work on check in the company
So
as a check.
it's your hobby or it's your profession?
Yes sir,
It's your
I like physics problem solving, so I am so definitely I have a hobby to solve physics related problems.
okay. So and your diary writing,
Yes sir.
or or you have interest in writing also, like poem and another thing, story.
Uh, no sir, I am basically write my daily plan on a diary.
Okay. So what you plan? What means in your interview day? What how you will plan your interview day?
Yes sir, first I plan that some for complete dress codes, and sir so preparation also we include, and we confident during the interview, and totally integrating. If you know idea about this question, so definitely tell me. I'm no not know. and answer I do very well in interview. This type of thing I mention in the my diary writing.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay, tell me what are the application of the electromagnetic survey?
Yes, sir. Application of electromagnetic survey. One is the mineral exploration. Second one is the hydrocarbon exploration. Groundwater exploration. And sir, third one is that geotechnical and artificial cavities. And sir, right now recalling, I'm recalling right now these things.
Okay. So in electromagnetic method, mostly we are preferring which survey? Means ground or air or oceanic? Which survey we are mostly preferring?
Sir, I'm not sure, but mostly we use magnetotelluric method.
In electromagnetic survey.
I'm saying that magnetic telluric method.
Okay. And give me some limitation of this electromagnetic method.
Yes, sir. Sir, one is thing that in if we use in airborne survey for electromagnetic method, their to penetration very low, like a 50 meter. And sir, second one is the in interpretation ambiguity we obtain the method.
So you know now that magnetotelluric method is the highest depth of penetration.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But then why it is low? You are saying that.
Yes, sir. In airborne survey, if we use airborne survey electromagnetic method, then depth of penetration very low.
Okay.
And sir, third one is the qualitative interpretation is very complex compared to the other method.
Okay. Why it is complex than other method? Any specific reason?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, in electromagnetic survey, if we use some model, then if and model, if we know the complete information about the model, and we compare to the resulted field data, then it's a very complicated situation. Right now, I'm understood these things for the quality interpretation.
But this is also problem other method also, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
That we are, it means every method we are assuming some model based on that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, now moving from that. Okay, can you tell me the magnetotelluric what is the means frequency range we are using?
Yes, sir. In magnetotelluric method, frequency range is very low. We can say that few hertz, something like that.
Okay, and tell me what are the method we are using for the electromagnetic survey?
Yes, sir. In electromagnetic survey, we use three methods. One is the three or four methods. One is the electromagnetic induction. Second one is the magnetotelluric method. Third one is the GPR method, and very low frequency method also used.
Okay, so in all these method means which physical principle is common?
Yes, sir. In electromagnetic induction, we use electromagnetic induction phenomena, and in magnetotelluric, we measure the telluric current. And sir, in
Only telluric current are measured.
no, sir, in a magnetotelluric method, we measure the component of electric and magnetic field by telluric current.
Okay.
And sir, in GPR, we measure the we basically measure the dielectric constant with the velocity. So something seismic reflections we apply in the GPR method.
So why the GPR method is it's not used every case in all case. So GPR method is high resolution, no?
Yes, sir, high resolution, yes. But sir,
So do you know?
depth of penetration is very low compared to the other method.
Okay. Okay. Do you know that the time domain electromagnetic method?
Yes, sir. In time domain electromagnetic method, we use square periodic electromagnetic wave, and sir, or basically, sir, in time domain electromagnetic method, we obtain the voltage due to the inserting the square electromagnetic wave.
Square of what means you are saying the pulse type, right?
Sir, I'm not sure we use the pulse, but when I read that we insert the periodic square electromagnetic wave in the subsurface, and 1/4 time period it's value 0, and the time period of the complete square wave is t, and fourth part of the time period is
So
value 0.
why you are sending the square? We are not sending continuous.
Sorry, sir, I'm not recalling that.
Okay. Can you tell me about the tilt angle or deep angle method?
Sir, can you repeat?
Tilt angle or deep angle method?
Tilt angle, yes, sir. Sir, I think that by tilt angle method, we obtain the orientation of the conductor. So this depend on the orientation of primary electromagnetic coils. If we change of the orientation of primary electromagnetic coils, then we obtain the maximum minimum magnetic field on the receiver.
Means how we are measuring that how we know that any conductor is present or not by using this method.
Sorry, sir.
Means any variation in field, resultant field.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, no problem. Okay, you can you tell me that all the Maxwell equations and which one is using in? We are using all the four equations in electromagnetic survey, or we are using the only single one?
Yes, sir. Sir, in electromagnetic survey, we use Maxwell equation 3 and 4. We say that change of a electrical field produce the magnetic field, and change of the electrical magnetic field produce the electrical field.
Okay. And so, what is the displacement current?
Yes, sir. Sir, displacement current we use on this region where we obtain the change of the electrical field. So, sir, we displacement current formula is that epsilon delta E upon delta T.
Okay. Okay. Next question. Okay. And another thing that the depth of penetration So it's
Yes,
depend on which factor.
yes, sir. Depth of penetration depend on the frequency and resistivity, we can say the conductivity also.
Okay. So in if you are in a resistive surface or in a conducting surface, which one is the depth of penetration is greater?
Yes, sir. Depth of penetrations are much greater in a electromagnetic survey compared to the resistivity.
Okay. So suppose that electromagnetic wave is traveling in a resistive surface, in a dielectric surface, and another is a conducting surface. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So do you differentiate any resultant output?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, we can say that if we electromagnetic wave indirect to the conductor, so there produce
Okay.
where we can say that electromagnetic induction phenomena occur, and sir, we obtain the secondary electromagnetic wave to the receiver. And sir, both the case depend on the amplitude of the secondary electromagnetic wave. And sir, if we
Okay.
electromagnetic, yeah.
Means all case secondary electromagnetic will be generated.
No, sir. Conductor also generate the secondary electromagnetic wave, and dielectricals.
So
And
dielectric will be generated or not.
sir, that dielectrical produce the electromagnetic wave on due to polarizations.
Okay. Means any major difference between
I think, sir, depend on the amplitude of secondary electromagnetic wave. If we generate by the conductor and insulator, conductor and dielectrical, and insulator does not produce the electromagnetic wave.
so conductor will be produce more, amplitude will be higher.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. That's much from my side.
Thank you, sir.
Buddhut, आ गया?
हेलो हाँ पवन हेलो
हाँ आ गया, कंटिन्यू।
Yes, sir.
आवाज आ
हाँ हाँ तो टेल मी अबाउट द डीप एंगल मेथड
Sir, I am not sure. If you give me some permission, so can you?
व्हाट
Sir, I don't know very precisely answer, but if you give me some permission, so can you give some basic idea about the?
हाँ हाँ यस यस यस
Yeah, okay. Well, sir, in a deep angle method, and another name is that tilt method. In tilt method, it depend on the orientation of the primary coil. If we change of the orientation of primary coil, we measure the maximum and minimum magnetic component on the receiver. So it depend. It's basically it's give the information of maximum and minimum and maximum minimum value of the magnetic field on the receiver by tilt method.
नो एक्चुअली we measure the angle between the resultant field resultant means primary plus secondary magnetic field and the primary field. The angle between both of them we measure by tilt angle method. Do you know what type of information can we obtain from this angle, the angle we measure?
Yes, sir. Sir, first thing is that orientation of the body, and second thing is that dialectical properties also we obtain the tilt angle method.
And what are different types of tilt angle method?
Sorry, sir, I don't know.
Have you heard about VLF and AFMAG?
Sir, I know about the basic idea of BLF. And BLF, it's a very low frequency method, and basically used for large distance communications.
Okay, what type of transmitters we use in VLF? Or do we need to use transmitters?
So, sorry, sir.
Okay, can you tell the frequency range of the audio frequency field?
Yes, sir. For I think, sir, 10 की power uh, uh, 3 to 10 की power 5 hertz frequency. I'm not sure, sir.
Okay, it's below 10 to the power 3 hertz. And okay, tell me two applications of GPR method.
Yes, sir. Sir, one application is that if GPR method basically used for archaeological field, and sir, right now I am recalling one application.
Can it be used in groundwater exploration?
I think, sir, we will not use GPR method for groundwater exploration due to low depth of penetrations.
Okay. But can we control the depth by varying the frequency?
Yes, sir. Depth of penetration depend on the inversely of frequency.
So how much depth can be attained by GPR?
Yes, sir. Sir, in GPR we use very high frequency like a mega to gigahertz. So almost we cover 10-meter depth of penetrations on average.
Okay. And and why? What? Tell me the dependence of velocity with the permittivity.
Yes, sir. Sir, velocity is equal to c upon under root mu r epsilon r. That is inversely proportional.
Okay. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Pavan.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what is the meaning of your name?
Yes, sir. Sir, my name is Pavan. So, like air. Mm. So, sir, air does not stay at one place. So, it's always continuous. So, I progress. My own side is always continuous.
Okay, can you give an example of your continuous progress?
Yes, sir. Sir, when I complete my graduation 2019, and in also 2019 I qualify ITGM exam, and then I got it IIT Bombay, and in complete 2021 MSc, and after that, sir, I qualify first attempt GSI exam prelims mains, and NET get also exam. This is, sir, a continuous flow of my progress. We can say that.
Okay, good. And you said that archaeological survey is done by using GPR method, right?
Yes, sir.
Any other method which is used in archaeological survey?
Yes, sir. Resistivity method also we use in archaeological survey.
Any other?
Sorry, sir.
Can magnetic method can be used in the archaeological survey or not?
Yes, sir. We can use magnetic method for archaeological survey. If it is depend on the subsurface. If we magnetic materials are present in the materials, definitely we use.
What is archaeology?
Sir, archaeological is a department, and we obtain the some history of the सर एक सब्जेक्ट है जिसमें अपन जो पूर्व जो भी एलिमेंट हमको मिले हैं या कोई हिस्ट्री है जो सबसे पेज के अंदर समृद्ध है उनका इन्वेस्टिगेशन अपन कर पाते हैं.
So how magnetic method will be useful in that?
ये सर सम कुछ मटेरियल से मिनरल्स या मैग्नेटिक मिनरल्स इज प्रेजेंट ऑन द सबसरफेस, सो डेफिनेटली वी यूज मैग्नेटिक मेथड.
And what about the gravity method?
Sorry sir for gravity method, I don't know, maybe use or not.
Okay. You said that GPR method have very high resolution, right?
Yes sir.
What is resolution? First of all, tell me.
सर रेजुलेशन से मीन दैट कि अपन ने जो डाटा कलेक्ट किया है उससे कितना कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन एक्यूरेटली मेजर कर पा रहे हैं अपन सबसरफेस के अंदर.
And on what factor resolution depends?
सॉरी सर.
Okay. And you said that magnetotelluric method is used in groundwater exploration.
Yes sir.
Can you briefly explain how this is done?
Uh, yes sir, and magnetotelluric method, one thing is that depth of entry is very high. So for groundwater exploration, we use basically the high depth of penetration method. So or another thing is that magnetotelluric method, we measure the telluric current which is flow on the crust part of the subsurface. So measuring the telluric current component indirectly, we measure the component of electrical magnetic field. Definitely, we measure the conductivity, resistivity of the subsurface, and depth of penetration.
Okay. And you said that your hobby is diary writing. So
Yes, sir.
how this diary writing hobby will be useful for you as a geophysicist?
Yes, sir. Sir, first thing is that diary writing you may completely time discipline. So I do. Second thing is that it's a time first thing is time punctual. One thing is that discipline. We do work every point we mention on the diary. And sir, definitely if we consider the job profile of the geophysicist, सर वन थिंग इज दैट मतलब बहुत ही कम शब्दों में अपन किस टाइप से रिप्रेजेंट कर पाते हैं अपने डाटा को. सो वन थिंग इज दैट सर वहाँ पे क्या है कि एज ए जियोफिस्ट वहाँ पे क्या डिसिप्लिन बहुत जरूरी है. तो वी कैन से दैट डायरेक्टली एडवांटेज ऑफ द डायरी राइटिंग.
Okay. And tell me, what is the relative permeability of water?
Yes sir, the value of relative permeability of water is approximate 80.
No, you said that relative permittivity. I'm asking about relative permeability.
Relative permeability of water. Sorry sir.
And relative permeability of air.
Sir, relative permittivity of air is, I think, 1.
And relative permittivity of air.
Sorry, sir. but very very high.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Pavan.
And thank you, sir.
Yeah. Arpita, any suggestion?
पवन, आपने अच्छा इम्प्रूव किया, आपका पेस भी अब काफी अच्छा हो गया है, बट ना आप जगह जगह यस बोलते हो, जैसे क्वेश्चन आपने सुना और आप उसके बाद थोड़ा सा यस मैम, यस सर, है ना, तो वो आप थोड़ा सा एक बार, आपने काफी कम किया है। पहले आप काफी फ्रिक्वेंटली बोल रहे थे, बट अभी काफी अच्छा इम्प्रूवमेंट है, आपके आंसर्स भी अच्छे हैं, बट एक बार आप मैक्सवेल्स इक्वेशन प्लीज देख लो, क्योंकि मुझे लग रहा है आपको उसमें भी थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन है। Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
और तो आपका अच्छा था, हाँ, कॉन्फिडेंस वाज गुड, आप अच्छे से आंसर्स को डिफेंड कर रहे हो, और इट वाज गुड, थैंक यू।
Thank you.
आर्या,
हाँ अच्छा था, लेकिन और थोड़ा रिवीजन की ज़रूरत है शायद।
असुदीप,
Yes, Pavan. Hello.
क्या?
हाँ, सो इंटरेक्शन आपके साथ अच्छा था ओवरऑल, बट कुछ सजेशन देना चाहूँगा। इन इनिशियल टाइम आप ना काफ़ी थोड़ा तेज़ बोल रहे थे, सो सामने थोड़ा सा स्लो अगर आप हो जाएं तो ज़्यादा अच्छा रहेगा, आपके ज़्यादा समझ में आएंगी चीज़ें सामने वाले को। एंड एक चीज़ और कि जो आप हॉबीज़ को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हो ना अपना, सो आप थोड़ा सा ये लाइन चेंज कर सकते हो कि जो आप वहाँ हॉबी बताना चाह रहे हो, इट इज़ गुड कि आई लाइक, आप कुछ भी बोल सकते हो कि लाइक कि आई आई वांट टू बी इन्वॉल्व इन दी फिजिक्स टू अपडेट विद इट, ऐसा कुछ भी बोल सकते हो, बट ना थोड़ा सा वो आपको हॉबी में फंसा लेंगे। आपने जैसे कि आई वाज आस्क कि आपका लॉन्ग टर्म विजन क्या है, और आपने बोला अभी कि आप लिखते हो वहाँ शॉर्ट टर्म और लॉन्ग टर्म विजन, बट आपने कोई बताया नहीं। डेफिनेटली यू शुड नो, है ना। हेलो।
Yes, yes. I know it.
सानू,
हाँ वही, मतलब जो आशुदीप ने जो बोला, मतलब आप जो भी बोल रहे हो, मतलब उसमें आपको क्लियर होना पड़ेगा। तो आपका अगर हॉबी में आप आंसर नहीं कर पाए तो इसमें इट्स बिग जॉब है। तो आई होप यू विल प्रिपेयर इट, एंड अदरवाइज इट्स गुड फॉर मी।
गौरी,
Pavan, your performance was good, but I think you are sometimes making the things representing things as very complex. So it makes confusions while we hear it. So once you have not that clarity about what you are saying, you try to minimize the content, or try to be some more precise and not make it that confusing.
Thank you, Gauri.
पवन, काफी अच्छा था आपका इंटरव्यू। बाकी जो आसुदीप ने बताया, थोड़ा हॉबी पर वर्क कर लो, and जो अर्पिता ने बताया, आई थिंक ऑलमोस्ट अच्छा था। थोड़ा सा बेस, हाँ, कोई भी चीज बोल रहे हो, जैसे गौरी ने बताया ना, थोड़ा सा उसको इजी वे में बोल सकते हो, बाकी अच्छा है।
Thank you, everyone.
आप
हेलो।
इजी लैंग्वेज करने के लिए ना हिंदी का यूज भी कर सकते हो, जरूरी
हेलो।
नहीं है कि आप उसे इंग्लिश का ही यूज करो।
अच्छा, हाँ हाँ।
हाँ, क्योंकि कहीं कहीं ऐसा
हाँ,
होता है ना, हमारे माइंड में नहीं आती चीजें, बट हम बोलते चले जाते हैं, फिर वो चीजें कॉम्प्लेक्स हो जाती हैं।
हिंदी में उसको ज्यादा अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन कर पाते हैं कभी कभी।
तो जैसे भी आप कंफर्टेबल हो, आपको जैसे लगे उस लैंग्वेज में, बस आपको अपनी बात वहां रखनी है, वैसे ही शुरू हो जाना वहां।
हाँ हाँ हाँ।
यस पवन, आई वाज सेइंग द सेम कि आपको जहाँ लगता है कि आप जंप हो जाया करो हिंदी में, और एकदम जैसे ही आपने अपनी बात बोल दी आप इंग्लिश में आ सकते हो। लैंग्वेज इज नॉट द बैरियर, है ना?
हाँ हाँ, आई विल ट्राई।
बस ध्यान ये रखना है कि आपको अपनी बात पहुंचानी है उन तक किसी भी तरीके से, चाहे हिंदी हो इंग्लिश हो।
ओके ओके।
ओके, सो नेक्स्ट डे का क्या टारगेट रखे अपन? हेलो पवन, आशुदीप।
हाँ मोहित भाई, हाँ।
नेक्स्ट डे के लिए क्या करें?
नेक्स्ट डे वही जिनका मतलब रिमेनिंग है इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक सर्वे का इंटरव्यू, वो प्रिपेयर होके आ जाएंगे।
ओके, किन किन का है?
अभी तो अर्पिता है, गौरी है अभी तो, एंड अर्घ्या है, अंशुदीप भी बचे हुए हैं।
ओके।